Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So one of the questions that's come up recently is you guys have seen me do endurance races and somebody's asked, how do you work out pit strategy? How do you work out how many pit stops you should be doing, what fuel you should be putting on board, whether you should be taking tires, all that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a video and break down exactly how we work out our strategy, how we work out what we should be doing in a kind of 6-hour race. But before we do that, if you guys like the video, if you guys like all the content that I'm making, then don't forget to hit the like button below this video. And of course, hit the subscribe button as well and the little bell notification. So here we are at the famous Brands Hatch circuit. Now, of course, what I'm going to be doing in this little run is just basically just putting a few laps together, gathering a bit of data and seeing how much the car uses in terms of fuel, in terms of tyres. I'm basically gathering data to plumb into a spreadsheet that I managed to actually pick up off Race Department, which is really handy because you pop all this data in, tell it how many pit stops you want to do, and it spits out whether that's possible or not. Now, obviously, the ideal situation depends entirely upon a few variables that this spreadsheet doesn't take into account, but we'll go through those a little bit later. So I'm going to run a few laps and see how I get on. So here we are in the fuel and strategy page. We're going to actually move across to the fuel and strategy page. And what that tells us is some fairly vital information. Now, obviously, we need to know the maximum amount of fuel we can get into our tank. So that's 119 litres. But also the fuel per lap, which is 2.16. I'm going to round that down, round that up, sorry, to 2.17 just to be safe. And basically what we're going to do is pop over to our spreadsheet and just plumb those numbers in. Whilst we're here as well, we might as well take a look at tyres. So of course we need to take into account our tyre wear as well. So obviously we are in the tyres section of our setup and we're going to go to our little wear kind of indicator here and it says 2.9. Now I did 4 flying laps, so we're going to divide that by 4 and that gives us our amount of wear per lap. So here we are in my lovely spreadsheet and I've already plumbed in all the data already. So obviously we're doing a 6-hour race, so that's 360 minutes. The average lap time, by the end of that stint I was doing 1:30s. I could have got into the 29s, but I think 1:30 is a fairly conservative lap time. So it reckons that I will do in that time 236 laps, which is literally just the race time divided by the amount of time you're going to take to do a lap. That's fairly simple maths. Now, the next bit is how much your tyres are wearing by lap. Now, obviously that I looked at it and I think I actually said in the video it was about 2.9% wear off 4 laps. So I was actually wrong. I only did 3 laps. So that's nice and simple. That's only 1% per lap. it always pays to kind of overestimate these sort of things just to give yourself a little bit of margin. Now, the tank size is something else we had to look up, and that is 119 litres. I know that offhand for the Jag already. Now, the fuel per lap, that was what we were testing really. And now, obviously, the more laps you do, the more accurate this is going to be. So do as many laps of practice as you can and then get a reading of how much fuel you're using per lap. So I was using 2.17 litres per lap if I round it up. And the spreadsheet varies the fuel window a little bit just to build you a little bit of leeway in. Now, obviously, you have to put in your number of pit stops as well. So if I put in 2 pit stops, it suddenly goes, I can't, it doesn't work because you don't have enough, you don't have enough capacity in the fuel tank to make that work. So 4 stops is the maximum or the minimum I could do that on. And obviously, that's something this spreadsheet doesn't take into account, is how long it takes to get in and out of the pits. Now, this is what real strategists do, is they weigh up, they draw a graph basically of how the amount of tire wear and affects lap time. Now, obviously, at the point where it's quicker to take a stop and then gain the time back after you've done that, that's the point where you should pit. Obviously, this is a very basic way of doing it, and it works pretty nicely for endurance racing because generally you're either double stinting tires or you're taking tires every stop. But yeah, there we go. I did get this spreadsheet off Race Department, so I'll pop a link in the description below. And hopefully that's kind of helped you guys out with how to sort out strategy in an endurance race, how to get the most out of your strategy and not do unnecessary pit stops, or not suddenly realize that you're getting towards the end of the race and you haven't quite got enough fuel to get to the end. This spreadsheet tells you exactly how much fuel you need to put in. As you can see, it's saying 100 litres and it's accurate, and it says I only need 97 litres in the last stint, which is going to save me a few seconds in the pit stop. Now, obviously, gaining a few seconds on track is really hard. So if you can gain it in the pit stop, then all better, of course. Hopefully that's explained a few things to you guys. Hopefully that's helped with a few bits. If you do like this kind of stuff that I'm doing, let me know in the comments. Do all that good YouTube stuff. Do like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully we will see you again soon.